So you're all very welcome to this practice support information session, and I'm joined today by Mairead O'Sullivan, who's head of library services, and she's going to talk us through all of the fabulous supports that are available in the library. It's like a treasure trove of fantastic legal information. So we're looking forward to hearing all about it and all the new products and services that are available. So it's just turned 1 o'clock. So over to you, Mairead. You're very welcome, everybody, to this practice support information session. And I'm joined by Mairead O'Sullivan, from who's head of library services, and she's going to talk us through all of the services that are available. If you'd like to ask a question at any stage, we'll take it on the chat. So over to you, Mairead. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Justin, and good afternoon, everyone. You're very welcome. As Justin mentioned, my name is Mairead O'Sullivan, and I am head of library and information services here at the Law Society. So today's presentation really is just a way for me to demonstrate to you all of the library services that are available to you as a member of the Law Society. So we're going to take a look at some general information on the library. We're going to look at the library catalogue, our online guides, the reading lists, the library app, our ebook collection, Law Watch, the inquiry service, the subject guides, which is our newest member service, and we're going to finish up by taking a quick look at the institutional archive. So some general information about the library then. The library provides information, reference and lending services to members of the Law Society and the law school trainees. Physically, the library is located in the main building on the ground floor, and our opening hours are Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m, and we do stay open during lunchtime. For any students that may be on the call, we do have additional study space available on the mezzanine level of the Vanilla Cafe, and that stays open until 8 p.m. I have our contact details there on the screen, but I will go through them again later on in the presentation, so I won't call them out to you just yet. So first of all, we're going to take a look at the library catalogue, and I suppose the first question is, how do I access it? And the easiest way is to go to the main Law Society website, www.lawsociety.ie. And once you've logged in there, you'll see a tab at the top of the screen called For Solicitors. Click on that tab, and on the left-hand side of the screen, you'll see a menu called Knowledge Base and a link to the library within that collection. Once the library page opens, you'll see at the bottom of the screen a link to the catalogue, and this will directly open the catalogue for you. And at this point, you will be asked to log in. So you'll need to contact the library for your username and password. Your username is your solicitor number or your student number, and we can then give you your unique password. So once you've logged in, then this is the home page of the library catalogue. You can see in the center of the screen, we have a search box where you can search for a judgment or a book or anything, a piece of legislation that you may be interested in. Beneath this, we have a book river, which highlights any of the new recent arrivals in the library that we've just recently catalogued. So it's a good way for you just to take a quick look to see what's available. And if you'd like to borrow, you can just click on the book jacket and you'll be brought through to the option to borrow the book. On the left-hand side of the screen, then we have little rooms, we call them rooms, to highlight the services available from the library. So there's buttons for the archive collection, our judgments collection, the library services, our reading lists, research support, subject guides, and our wellbeing reading list. So if we click through, the first selection I'm going to show you is our unreported judgments collection. And we have unreported judgments dating back to 1952 right up to 2024. And if you'd like to receive a copy of any of the judgments, you can just click into this page and go to the relevant year, or indeed you can search on the library catalogue. And the example I have on the screen here has brought up McLaughlin v. the Labour Court. You can see the title, the judge that was involved. We have the year. A very short abstract is also included. And probably the most important part of this reference is the electronic access, which I have highlighted on the screen in yellow. When you click on this link, you'll be brought through directly to the judgment. All our judgments are signed by the judge and they're available in PDF, which is important if you're using them for a book of authorities for court. We don't include any links to anything in Word, so anything you do source from the library collection can be brought straight into court with you, which is important. Similarly then, if you want to search for a book, the example I have on the screen here is we're going to look for a book on partnership. You can search by title if you know the author, or if you'd like to search by subject, you can narrow your search in any way you like. It's very intuitive and it works really well. When you find the book you want, just click on the link and it'll open up a full record for you where you can see the author, the edition, it'll give you the ISBN and a few subject terms that are related to the book. Also important is at the end of the record, you will see if the book is available or not. So if there's a copy on the shelf or if it's on loan, it'll give you this information. And if you would like to borrow the book, you have the option to place a hold. So you just click on the place hold tab, click on this, and it'll confirm that the hold has been placed for you. You can double check this if you want to be sure by just clicking on my account, and you will see here all the books that you either have out on loan currently or that you have placed on hold. As a member, you're entitled to borrow up to 5 books for 2 weeks, and there is a delivery fee of €5. You can also renew the books if you like, as long as nobody else has a hold on the book. Moving on then to our research support section. So when you click into this tab, you'll be brought through to our online guides. And these are online guides to external websites that we have compiled over the years. We found we were often getting questions from members, they might ring us and they were unsure of how to navigate maybe the court's website or the Irish Statute Book. So we've compiled quite short and easy to use presentations on these websites. So they are external, but we do find that they are used by our members quite a lot. So they're quite a useful source for you. So we have the Court Service, the House of the Oireachtas, the Irish Statute Book, the Law Reform Commission, Workplace Relations, which if any of you have used it, is quite tricky to navigate. So that's quite useful and they're quite popular with our members. Moving on then to our reading lists. Again, you can click into this tab and it will open up all of the reading lists that are available to you. We have them ordered in alphabetical order. And when you click on the link, it'll open up a PDF for you of the reading lists. The reading lists originated by, we compile reading lists for the Diploma Centre here at the Law Society and the Law School. And we realised that our members found them quite useful as well. So we've amended them slightly and they're available for anyone who may be interested in a particular topic, or you might be moving into a new area of law and you just want to kind of see what is the most relevant materials in that area. So they're all available for you on the catalogue. Moving on then to the library app. So the library app was developed in conjunction with the main catalogue. It has all of the similar features. It's available to download on all iOS and Android devices. And like the catalogue, you can search for a book or search for an unreported judgment in a very similar way. We also have the Book River included as well. So it's quite a nice feature. Again, I've taken the example of partnership. So if you type in the term partnership and click on the search facility, you'll be brought through to the book that you want, and you can see there you have the option to place a reservation or a hold, as we would call it, on the book, and it will work in a very similar way to the library. I should point out that if you do place a hold via the app, the notification we will get at the library desk means that we will automatically send it out to you via DX Courier. So if you'd prefer to come in and collect the book from the library in person, it's probably better to give us a ring or place a hold via the actual catalogue itself. Similarly, if you wanted to search for an unreported judgment, you do this in the very same way. The example I have on the screen here, Cantrell v AIB, you just type that in, click on search, and you'll be brought straight through to the judgment. This feature is actually very, very useful for somebody who's maybe on the move. A lot of our members, we've had great feedback from them if they're in court and maybe a judge or barrister mentions a case while they're in court, and they can just open the app, find the judgment that's been mentioned, and you do have the option to download it right directly onto your phone or device. And if there's a printer nearby, you can print it straight away. And because they're PDF'd and they're signed, they're absolutely perfect for you to bring into court or use in a book of authority. Moving on then to our ebook collection, and I really wanted to highlight this to you because it has grown considerably in the last number of years, pretty much since COVID actually. A lot of the publishers realised that there was such a demand there, so they've loosened the reins a little bit with the likes of our library, and they've given us access to a lot of the more meaty books. Before, the topics included in ebooks were a little bit niche and probably weren't as useful, but now I'm delighted to say we've probably more than 200 ebooks available, and if you would like to access them, you just need to drop us an email and we can set you up with a login. And once you're on the database, then you can download the book to your iPad, you can read it online, and you can print excerpts within the copyright rules. But it's very, very useful, and we found it's had a huge uptake, I'm delighted to say, and it's definitely something, an area that we want to grow more. And it looks like publishers are going to allow us to do that, which is fantastic. So another of our popular services is Law Watch. As a member, I hope you already receive it. It goes out every Thursday morning for the library, and it's essentially a current awareness newsletter. So we include in it any recent judgments that we've received from the courts, any journal articles that we've received the previous week that we think may have interest, we'll highlight them. We also include a legislation update, so any acts that the President has signed in the previous week are included and linked, and also any statutory instruments that were included, that were published the previous week that may have gone up under the statute book. We have them all compiled here. We also include then any other topical information that the library wants to highlight to members. For example, last week's Law Watch included our new subject guide on artificial intelligence, and anytime we want to push the ebooks, we'll also include that. So it's really, really a useful way to kind of keep in touch with the library, and you'll see any of the services that we are promoting, or sometimes, we might have a sale on or anything like that that we want to communicate with the members, we'll include it in Law Watch. If you're not receiving Law Watch for any reason, I have included the email here. So it's lawwatch@lawsociety.ie, and a member of the library team will be happy to set you up and make sure you get it. So as I've said, it goes out every Thursday morning at 10:30. Moving on then to our inquiry service. So for those of you that may never have visited the library, there is essentially a reception desk downstairs that's always manned by 2 members of the team, and we're open from 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. and through lunchtime. And this is where we would deal with all of the queries we get. So we have a designated email address, which is libraryenquirer@lawsociety.ie. That's libraryenquirer@lawsociety.ie. And we also have a dedicated telephone number as well, which is 01672 4843 or 4844. And you'll always get someone. The desk is always manned, and we usually get back to our queries very instantaneously or within the hour. So if you're kind of wondering what you could ask us, we really don't mind. We get queries for everything from something as straightforward as a book loan. We get requests for journal articles. Somebody might have a query about legislation if they want to see if something was amended, or if there was a consolidated version or an annotated version of one of the acts, they might get in touch with us. Or if they're doing a book of authorities, they'll send us in the link, or the list, excuse me. And anything really, we're very happy we can conduct some legal research for you. We don't mind at all if you just want to run something by us or troubleshoot. One of the most popular queries we probably get are for precedents. They're one of our biggest requests, and we have quite a large bank of precedents here, both from Ireland and the UK. So we're happy to, have a chat with you about that, and you can either amend the precedent, or sometimes if you're lucky enough, it's exactly what you want. So we can send it to you. We do charge for the precedents. So there is a charge of €50 plus VAT, and the precedents are emailed to you in Word format. Moving on then to the subject guides, and I'm actually going to play a little video very quickly while I'm speaking. So it'll just give you a feel for the subject guides, and I hope you can all see it. So the subject guides came around really because we were looking at ways to push the library content more, and we've so much valuable information in the library, and we were really concerned that maybe we weren't getting it out to the members as much as we could. So we came up with the idea of the subject guides, and they're really a sort of a one-stop shop for all the different topics that we've covered. So we'll include, as you can see on the screen behind me, we have any books that we have in a particular topic, any ebooks that we may have in a topic. We'll include everything. We'll include the lists. We'll also highlight any journal articles that are available, and we'll include a list of journals. We have precedents included if precedents are available on a topic. We'll promote the books that they come from, or any of the databases that we have, such as Lexis and Bloomsbury Professional. We'll highlight all the precedents that are available from those distributors. So it's a really useful resource for either somebody perhaps starting out in their career who doesn't really know much about the area of law that they've worked or are working in, or perhaps somebody who's changing jobs and moving into a new area, and they just want to familiarize themselves with the most recent materials. So it's a really popular and practical service for the members, and I'm delighted to say that we've had really, really positive feedback. The guide on the screen at the moment is the latest one. It's on AI and the legal profession. So as you all know, it's AI is the new buzzword at the moment, and we have an awful lot of books and ebooks that have just come in the last 6 months to the last year, and we were looking at a way to kind of promote them, and we've included at the screen at the moment is showing you the reading list that we have for AI. So all of the journals included, you can click on the link and they'll open the article for you. We've included any law and policy that we could find both within Ireland, the EU and the UK. These are all from freely available websites, but we've basically done the hard work for you. So we've included them all here on the subject guide. And the final tab that we have for this one is professional guidance, which looks at other jurisdictions rather than Ireland. So we have, or the Law Society, I should say. So we have the Law Society of England and Wales, we've the Bar Council, we've the Solicitors Regulation Authority, the IBA, the American Bar Association, and the Bar of Ireland. And we've just compiled all of that information in one area for you, just to make it simple. We have about, I think it's 8 subject guides available at the moment on topics including conveyancing, employment law, probate, family, the environment, criminal law, and our in-house, and then finally the AI. So I think I've clicked into the employment one just to show you a different one, just to show you the variety. And this will give you an example of a subject guide that has precedents included with it, and any Law Society courses that are available, we'll also include them. So they do vary depending on what information we have available to us, but we'll basically include everything that we can, and they're a living document. So as laws change, or maybe new precedents or practice notes are launched, we will go back and amend the guides to update them, so they're updated quite frequently, and you can rely on them then, that they're up to date for the latest information. So I have to say, I've spent a little bit more time on them than I did on anything else, because they are so new, and I'm conscious that maybe some of you aren't aware of them, but they are a wonderful resource. We've had fantastic feedback, and the next one I think is going to be either on cybersecurity or ESG. So they're going to be the next 2 topics that we're going to cover. Moving on then to the institutional archive, and I've included this really just in case some of you may have an interest in history, or you may not be aware that we have the archive. So it's a project that kind of has grown in the last 5 years or so, where we digitized an awful lot of the Law Society material that was basically sitting in boxes and untouched. So we have council minutes, we've included gazettes dating back to 1907. We've the law directories going from 1846. We've the solicitor roll books from 1840 to 1936. So perhaps you have a parent or grandparent who signed the roll, you can go in and see their signature and see who they worked with, and they're quite interesting. And the most recent project that we worked on was last year, the Celebrating a Century, the first 100 women, and we did a profile in each of those women. And I've included here just some of the images that we've used from some of the projects over the years. So I really just wanted to highlight it to you and bring it to your attention. And if you have 10 minutes to spare, I'd love if you went in and just had a quick browse through the archive, and you might find it of interest, and you may see somebody you recognize over the years. And that's everything from me. I just want to thank you for your time today. And if you have any questions at all, I'm happy to answer them. I have the contact details for the library here again. I'll call them out one more time. So it's library enquire at lawsociety.ie. And the telephone number for the main desk is 672-4843. So thank you for your time today. And if you have any questions at all, I'm happy to answer them.
Yeah, thanks, Mairead. That's a really unique insight into the library and the amount of work going on there and the amount of available information, and particularly for smaller practitioners who have,
Exactly.
need resources. That there's like plenty there. Like, is the most popular one the precedents and the subject guide?
Yeah, it probably would be. The precedents are one of the kind of most popular requests we would get, because I mean, most of the people who use the library, most of the firms are either sole practitioners or the smaller to medium-sized firms, because obviously the large libraries all have their own resources, so they wouldn't need to use us in the same way. So it is very useful for practitioners. We pay basically to get the precedents in from the publishers, and then we can help the members out, and they can send us in any query really. I mean, it varies, but probably precedents are the most popular, I would say. Definitely that, and maybe books of authority for court, or articles, or anything kind of in a current awareness field they would be interested in.
So just on the precedents, I know you probably don't want to talk about it, but there is a €50 charge, which
There
seems
is.
very low, very good value. Like you get a precedent that you can pre-populate yourself.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I'm glad you said that, Justin. It is. It's like €50 probably sounds like a lot of money to some people, and I appreciate that. But for what you're getting, I mean, it's a one-off fee, and you do have the precedent then forever. And other organizations would charge somewhere close between 250 and €300. So €50 is pretty good value, I think. And
Yeah.
we
And there's
do.
also like a whole lot of copyright rules behind that.
Exactly,
Not something we
exactly,
just,
exactly. Yeah, we do have to charge something, or otherwise the publishers just wouldn't give them to us, because we can't obviously give them away for free. So the compromise we've arrived with is €50. So I think it's fair. I think it's fair because
Yeah.
there is, like, it's content that they'll always have, and it's quite valuable, and it saves them time. They get them in Word, and they just have to adapt them to what they want.
And presumably they can get the client to pay for the cost of that as well. So
I'm
it's,
sure they
it's
do.
yeah.
Yes, I'm sure they do. Yeah, they can pass it on.
But they can come into the library and
Exactly. Yeah. So
access
we are
this.
open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And if somebody is in Dublin for court, perhaps, and they would like to visit the library, they can come in. And we do have the majority of the precedents in hard copy form as well. So if you don't want to pay €50, you can take the book from the shelf and actually photocopy it in the library. It won't be in Word, obviously, but it will save you the charge of €50. So you'll just have to pay for photocopying. So it's an alternative. I appreciate not everybody is in Dublin, but if you're visiting or you're in court or for whatever reason, that is an option for you. We also have LexisNexis available at a member's PC. There is restrictions around that. You can't just come in and print off the entire bank of precedents. But if you want to print off one or two precedents, that's absolutely fine.
And just on the ebooks, are they free once you?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah.
But you
So
need to log in to get that.
you do. We have them on a platform called VLE Books. So members would need to contact the library to access them. And what we do is we'll set them up with a unique username and password. We'll send them the link to the platform. And once they have that, then they're free to go, and they can log in themselves and download them to their iPads or desktop. Or if they want, they can just take them away and read them for a while, or print a certain amount. There is, again, copyright, our old friend. There are restrictions around printing, but I think it's fair. I think you can print a certain proportion to the book, or else read it online.
Just a couple of other questions. The LexisNexis library, the online database, how does that work? Or can I access that remotely from my computer,
No,
or do I need to come to the library?
no, you would physically have to come in. Unfortunately, they won't allow us to give remote access to members. So the library staff have access, obviously, to the databases themselves. And we've also worked out an agreement for the members' PC to have access to LexisNexis library. So that is available for them to come in, and they can print out a certain proportion. I think it's 2 precedents, and that's the agreement we've come to with Lexis. So it is an option, and they can print it. There's a photocopier in the library, so it's quite seamless for them.
Very good. And just lastly, then there's the Law Watch. How do I sign up for that? Is fairly easy? Is that?
Yeah, it is. I think maybe I'm incorrect, but my understanding is all members do receive it. But if I'm wrong about that, there is a way you can get it by emailing us. We have a designated email for it, so it's lawwatch@lawsociety.ie. So it's lawwatch@lawsociety.ie, and it does go out to all the members, but we also have other people, say from the law library, and maybe students and stuff as well, that receive it. So it goes. We're happy to send it to anyone who's interested to receive it.
Great. Well, unless anybody else has any more questions, March 20th, we have the technology committee, or a couple of representatives from them are going to come in and just discuss the practical sort of tools and tips available for running a smaller practice. So we have a range of people who are going to talk at that, both in-house and small practitioners, etc. So if you want to sign up for that, you can do that on the information session part of the Business Hub. We can sign up for that, and we'll be sending out a recording of this early next week. So unless anybody else has a final question, thank you very much, Mairead, for a very comprehensive
Oh, no problem. I was happy to do it
presentation.
and happy to
Oh,
promote the library. Please use us. We're here
yeah, it
for
sounds
you.
like there's
So
tons and tons of really, really good information in there. So people should get stuff
exactly.
going. Yeah.
Thanks,
All right.
Justin.
Well, thanks everyone. Slán, it was Gar Margaret, and hopefully you'll join us on March 20th for the Technology Committee. Thanks, Mairead. Bye.
Thanks, Justin. Bye-bye.